Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa and Overwatch is getting an Overwatch 2 balance update. That's right, you heard that correctly, and I've got all of the details and I'm going to give them to you right now because we have got some beautiful, glorious, wonderful patch notes to go over. So let's get stuck into this. First up, let's take a look at Pharah. So her rocket launcher reload now begins 0.3 seconds sooner when out of ammo. However, Concussive Blast now deals 30 damage on direct hit and deals 50% additional knockback to direct hit targets. That is going to be super funky because you've got a nice little bit of extra damage there if you hit somebody with Concussive Blast. Moving on to Orisa, Fusion Driver, weapon spread removed, protective barrier, maximum duration reduced from 20 to 4 seconds, huge barrier nerf there, health increased from 600 to 1200, massive, cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds, and halt pull radius increased from 5 to 7 meters. Moving on to D.Va. D.Va just sees the weapon spread reduced by 15% of her primary fire, which is of course the fusion cannons. Now let's move on to Ball. So knockback has been increased on roll by 36%. This brings Wrecking Ball back into line with Launch Wrecking Ball, which basically means if you roll into someone, you will bounce them for absolutely miles. Yes, that's a load of knockback. Really strong. Bastion also sees a change to configuration recon. Weapon spread has now been removed from his primary fire, which again, this is Overwatch 2, and you've probably noticed throughout a lot of these changes, they are kind of Overwatch 2 focused, removing barriers from Orisa or heavily reducing them, increasing their health and things like that. However, Reinhardt, so he can now also cancel charge. Again, this is an Overwatch 2 change. You can do this in Overwatch 2, but now you can do it in Overwatch 1, and I like this. Sombra, Machine Pistol, damage increased from 8 to 9. Hack, cast time reduced from 0.65 to 0.5. Hack duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. EMP, ultimate cost reduced by 15%. This is a funky one. It's kind of a couple of changes from Overwatch 2, but obviously they haven't done the total rework for her in Overwatch 1. Doomfist, Seismic Slam. This is good. Distance increased from 15 to 20 meters. This is taking us back to the glory years of Doomfist. Yeah, you've got an extra 5 meters on Seismic Slam. Cool. Junkrat, Frag Launcher, projectile radius increased from 0.2 to 0.25 meters. You fire bigger bombs. And Steel Trap, projectile speed increased from 10 to 15. Torbjorn, Rivet Gun primary fire, recovery reduced from 0.6 to 0.55 seconds. Rivet Gun secondary fire, recovery reduced from 0.8 to 0.7 seconds. A nice little buff there to Torb's weapon. Now let's talk about Zen. Orb of Discord, linger duration reduced from 3 to 2 seconds. Bit of a nerf there. However, Snap Kick, new passive added. Quick melee deals 50% more damage and knocks enemies away. Direct from Overwatch 2. Cassidy, well, his combat role now grants 50% damage reduction for its 0.4 second duration. Okay, welcome to the practice range. So what we're going to do is take a look at some of these changes, but I actually kind of want to talk about the methodology that gets Blizzard to this point of actually updating Overwatch again, which is a good thing for the game because Overwatch has just been languishing with no updates. Just, yeah, give it some love. Now, the devs have actually put a note on the patch notes page, and this is what they say. This patch is comprised of adjustments that will help tune the live game, potentially shift the meta there, and also line up with the eventual transition to Overwatch 2. Now, that's key. I hope what we're going to see is a series of patches coming towards Overwatch that very slowly push it towards the Overwatch 2 beta client, whatever that appears to be during the next beta phase, which hopefully will get announced fairly soon, and then going into live to just prime the audience into playing Overwatch 2 instead of Overwatch, because it's going to be quite jarring to just suddenly go, right, it's not 6v6 no more, it's 5v5, and there's a load of balance changes. That's going to be very difficult to sort of play. So if they can ease us into that transition, I think that's really good, and I think that's definitely what they should be doing with this. Anyway, they go on to say, some lean more to the experimental side, such as with Orisa and Sombra, but we're interested to see how such changes impact their playstyle and strategies, such as double barrier. Many of the other changes are relatively small, but are aimed at improving the gameplay feel of heroes and their abilities, rather than adjusting much power. Now, what is cool is some of these changes are straight out of Overwatch 2. The Zen Kick is straight out of Overwatch 2. They've given him Snap Kick. It's literally the ability from Overwatch 2. I mean, look, if I could kick, let's kick this dude. Okay, let's wait for this guy to come back, and then let's kick him off the edge. In fact, we'll put Discord on him, because this has kind of been nerfed as well. Yeah, so you've got the massive Zen kick. Discord orb will now break, I think, after 2 seconds instead of 3 without line of sight. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, or maybe 3 instead of 4. Whatever, it's been nerfed. So yeah, this is a nice change. This is something which is easy to implement into the game. I think, though, if I go back to the spawn, what you will see is heroes like, when we look at Orisa, they're not giving us the Orisa rework. So we're not getting Orisa's new abilities in Overwatch 1. Which you could argue, just do it. Just put them in the game. Does it really matter? I don't know. Maybe they can't do it because of engine reasons. I don't know. But the Orisa change is funky because it's almost like this might have been a way they could have taken Orisa, but they've not decided to do that because obviously the Orisa in Overwatch 2 is completely reworked. But yeah, your barrier's now got 1200 health, and it disappears after 4 seconds. So it can basically block all of the damage coming in within 4 seconds unless there's incredible damage coming through with nano boosts and all kinds of stuff. And then it disappears. So in a way, this is just block massive damage. It's almost like an immortality field, almost, but not really, because you can obviously still walk through it and kill people. But it's just a massive barrier you can just throw into somebody's face, which is, you know, yeah, I mean, that's one way of looking at barriers. The other thing, though, with Orisa is they've changed her weapon to have no spread. So this makes a weapon incredibly powerful, especially if you've played Overwatch 2 and then you play this. This is, like, ridiculously powerful. The damage is insane off that weapon. But, yeah, I think the issue is they can't plug the changes in for Overwatch 2 that are major changes and rework changes. So they're kind of giving us little bits. Like, you know, when I'm playing this Orisa, I want to charge, but I can't charge. I want to spear spin. I want to, you know, yeah, I just can't do it. And I want to throw my spears. Yeah. Now, there's other changes as well. Things like Diva's fusion cannons even, getting the slight change to weapon spread. You know, it's a 15% reduction. Yeah, it's going to make them more potent. It's not super interesting, I guess. A lot of the other changes are kind of like that. There's not like any kind of mental change, which is like a total rework, or this isn't a crazy experimental. It's pretty much an experimental, as they say, to kind of get us ready to deal with what's coming with Overwatch 2. And I think that's a great use of this. And I think this is something they can do in the future to inject life back into Overwatch, because man, this game is bad. I'm just going to say it. This game, that can be clipped out of context. But when you've played Overwatch 2 and you play this, it's just not the same. Things like the movement speed. Like, I feel like I'm walking in sludge. DPS move 10% faster. Well, like, just give us that in Overwatch 2, you know. Maybe they will. Maybe they're just sort of waiting for drip feeding us the updates. I don't know. But they've kind of given us... The reason I was on Sombra, I've kind of lost my train of thought, is she's got some changes. So basically, she does more weapon damage from primary fire. A hack's been changed a little bit, but it's not the same as the hack in Overwatch 2, so it's kind of like... Although I think what they're trying to do is... It's the duration with this. You know, it's faster to deploy. Yeah, and the duration is up. So kind of getting used to the quicker hack, I guess. And obviously, EMP doesn't do damage. Which it does do damage in Overwatch 2, which, again, that could maybe just be in Overwatch, I don't know. But there's all the issues with the balance, right? With 6v6, maybe Sombra gets crazy. But here's the thing. Who is actually playing Overwatch right now for balance? I don't think anyone is. Like, your competitive league, Overwatch 2, doesn't even run on this game anymore. So, I don't know. Just give us more of these updates. Do you agree with me, guys? I mean, let me know in the comments below. Do you think it's right what I'm saying here? They should just totally be pumping proper Overwatch 2 updates into this game. I'm not saying just convert it to Overwatch 2 straight away. I'm saying just slowly start changing it, because this game is going. Like, this isn't the game anymore, and it's really confusing that we've still got this. But hey, at least based off that developer note, it looks like the devs are starting to, yeah, prime us for Overwatch 2, which might mean that Overwatch 2's launch could be closer than we think. When the game launches, we've got no idea. We don't even know when the next beta phase is coming. So, I mean... Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the video. I've been Stylosa. Remember, it helps an absolute ton if you like the video, if you subscribe to the channel, if you leave a comment below. All of that helps. And of course, if you love the video, then show your friends and go, hey, check this out. Also, let me know what you think about that bit of editing I did at the start of the video. I kind of, I've been toying around with that, and I think it's kind of funky. But yeah, all right, let me know. All right, guys, thank you. I'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.